I once read a theory stating the destruction of the time skip being a consequence of Sarada's actions after she would become a victim of her clan's cycle of hatred. Even if that theory turns out to be untrue, Sarada does need to have some formidable powers, not for the purpose of destruction, but in order to get on par with the main duo of the series. The Mangekyou Sharingan is what's gonna grant such prowess to Sarada, and today we'll be figuring out both its awakening and unseen abilities. When it comes to the possibility of Sarada unlocking an advanced version of her Sharingan, the only canon reference that we have on hand as of now is this artwork of Kishimoto that shows her with a sun-shaped Mangekyou. The eye can be seen with 8 pointed triangles with a circle in the middle of them. The closest real-life counterpart that I could find of this eye is an octagram, which has some interesting significance in various cultures across the world. So let's take a look at some of them, which could help us to figure out the awakening, as well as some potential abilities of Sarada's special eye. The very first one stems from the Native American tradition, and you will be shocked to know that this symbolism directly links the dojutsu with Boruto's jogan. Let me explain how. The 8-pointed star represents a symbol of hope in the aforementioned culture, and what's even interesting is that this hope symbol is related to star knowledge. This can be linked to Boruto's jogan, as the design of Sarada's Mangekyou not only contrasts with the pure eye, but the fact that it's connected to both the star as well as hope makes this an even more plausible possibility. So could it be that the Star of Hope jogan would help in the awakening of Sarada's ocular power? Well, another mind-blowing correlation to back this theory can be found in the Babylonian symbolism of the octagram. There is a goddess in this mythology who goes by the name Ishtar, and she is denoted by an 8-pointed starburst. The fun fact is that this goddess is associated with love, war, and divine law. The act of Boruto saving Sarada was also a representation of the romantic bond that they both are gonna grow over time. Boruto getting harmed in some warlike situation must be enough to trigger the Mangekyou Sharingan of Sarada, clearly because there have been subtle hints in the series regarding the love that she feels for him. From the curious discussion with Aida to keeping her life online to protect Boruto, Sarada without a doubt loves him, and any kind of misfortune that strikes him would definitely impact her as well. It could be that the jogan and the Mangekyou would unlock simultaneously, leading to one of the greatest moments of the series. This is very likely to happen for two big reasons. First of all, it will take the hype of the series to another level, and secondly due to a major symbolism of the moon that can be found in Boruto's jogan. We know that the Mangekyou requires some heightened emotions for the purpose of awakening, while the full moon is said to be able to trigger emotional intensity in human beings. That's why in some pieces of fiction, a man is shown to be able to turn into a wolf upon staring at the moon. The jogan having some relatedness to the celestial body could be taken as a big hint for its connection with the Mangekyou. Not to mention both the eyes are contrasting each other based on their patterns and design. Back in chapter 78, Boruto kept his life online to save Sarada from Kawaki's attack, and not to mention she's one of the very few people who know that Boruto is innocent in the new world of Aida. Assuming the scar and the hopelessness was a major sign of Jogan's awakening, it seems like there is an even greater symbolism behind the recent events of the series. Sarada, the wielder of the Sun Dojutsu, was about to go down when the Moon wielder saved her. It could be linked to the real-life phenomenon of the moon making an appearance only after the sunset. Moreover, the moon does not have its own light, rather it reflects the light from the sun. This could mean that both Boruto and Sarada are gonna have a huge role in the awakening of each other's ocular powers. There is another correlation between the character of Sarada and Boruto that I'm sure you will find interesting, so make that sub button disappear and hear me out. In some of my previous videos, I discussed how Boruto has become somewhat similar to a saint, as he has learned to be really calm during a disastrous calamity. It's mainly because the pure eye has some direct ties with a spiritual creature, and Boruto possessing this power must have attained a divine mindset. Amazingly, the inspiration behind Sarada's name was an Indian spiritual leader who was better known as the Holy Mother. This makes me wonder whether the powers and abilities of Sarada will also have some spiritual origins. Let's go back to her sun connection to see if we can find some clue. In literature, the sun represents the hero, knowledge and divinity. It seems like upon unlocking the Mangekyou, she will dig deep into the history of her clan in order to figure out how she needs to utilize her Kekkai Genkai. Once she will find out something, it could lead to her heroic turnover, which is really necessary as the daughter of one of the most prominent characters. Another possibility is that she might be given some power-up pills by Amado that would infuse some Otsutsuki power into her normal abilities. But I personally feel like Amado will form alliance with Kawaki, so the possibility of something like this to happen is near to zero. Instead, Sarada could get the Byakugo seal from her mother to back her Mangekyou, similar to how Boruto synchronizes his karma with the Jogan. It could save her from going blind, letting her use some really insane powers like the Susanoo for very long periods of time. Talking about her Susanoo, this is where her character could get a divine touch, so hear me out. In Japanese mythology, the sun goddess is known as the Amaterasu, and if Sarada ever gets a Susanoo, then we can expect her to be in the form of this divine entity. This would make perfect sense by correlating the shape of her eyes with her most powerful ability. The series creator wants the new generation to surpass the previous one, so there must be more ways for Sarada to level up her rank in terms of power level. We could talk about Sarada getting the EMS shortly after Sasuke's death, when she would take her eye as a memento to evolve her Mangekyou. But the only problem is that the EMS awakening requires both eyes of the donor. If Sasuke still had the Rinnegan, things would have been a bit different, but currently there is no way for Sarada to unlock the EMS even if her father dies. There is another theory regarding the Mangekyou awakening of Sarada, which says it might be the first of its kind, as it will be awakened by love rather than pain and heartbreak. But the way the story is progressing, I don't think something like that is worth happening for numerous reasons. Firstly, the show will become more of a romance cum tragic fiction, as there would be multiple people fighting in the name of love. It could impact the main theme of the story, which revolves around the fate of the shinobi system. Secondly, the reality shifting twist of the latest chapter has finally taken the story to its most awaited dark era. I don't see Sarada falling in love with Boruto under these circumstances, especially when it comes to awaken her Mangekyou. She could unlock the power after seeing her innocent teammate, the one who saved her life, being hunted down by everyone, but not by the feelings of love as assumed by some people. Well, to be fair, the story's rate of progression till now did not put any limelight on Sarada at all. She becomes more important to the plot after chapter 79, as she is the only one who knows the reality of Boruto. The fact that she is immune to Aida's charm, she'll be one of the very few people who will identify Boruto as an innocent. The way Mitsuki went outrageous on Boruto in chapter 79, it seems like the blue-eyed boy is now a hard target of the entire shinobi world. This gives us some mega hints to crack the code of Sarada's Mangekyou, as we know she needs to feel some strong emotion for the purpose of evolving her eye. So maybe seeing her teammate Boruto struggling against the twist of fate could act as a good trigger. This will help Sasuke to realize that the deep connection that his daughter shares with this outsider must have some logic behind it. The headband that Sasuke gave to Boruto earlier could help him to remember his student even after the rewrite of history. This was actually a really smart move made by Sasuke to recognize Boruto in case something unfavorable happens. Now let's take a look at some of the abilities that you guys have came up with. The first theory talks about the solidification of light into weapons, which is in fact a cool idea. And what's even interesting is that Sarada's attacks will become undodgeable cause she would be materializing light with the speed of light. Well, it could really make her an extremely broken character, but she will need to have some top tier training to get to that level. A theory that's wandering in my mind is the possibility of Kashin Koji, who might have escaped to another dimension in order to protect himself from Aida's rewrite spell. This would make him totally suitable to become the new mentor of Boruto and Sarada. He also inherits the traits of the former masters who gave training to their parents, so it completely makes sense. Another theory talks about the possibility of her Mangekyou controlling time for combative advantage. That's also a pretty good idea, considering a huge part of Boruto's plot is based on time and fate. Not to mention Boruto's Jogan might unlock a special power that could defeat even the strongest warriors of the verse. Check out this video to find out what it is, and subscribe to never miss an upload. I will see you next time.